Welcome everybody to the grand finals of the Mars TV Dota2 League. I'm God streaming as Fogged. How you doing, buddy?
Doing alright, man. Pretty excited to see this finals.
Yeah.
Should be really good.
Newbee and LGD battling it out in a best of 3 grand finals. We thought it was previously best of 5. It turns out it's best of 3. Newbee, they haven't lost a single game the entire tournament. Undefeated in the group stage, undefeated against DK in the playoffs. And LGD, they lost to Newbee in the group stage, and they also lost the game to Vici game in the playoffs. But they've been playing really well.
Yeah, they have. I mean, Newbee just overall been playing completely solid, and even when they're behind, they don't hesitate at all, and they just make great action all around the place.
Yeah. All right, guys, you can now hear me. All right. Should be all good, guys. We're here live now with the grand finals, as said. But you guys may have not heard that one. But it's going to be a best of 3, LGD versus Newbee. We're going to hop ourselves into the draft. LGD, they're playing on the Radiant side for game 1. Newbee on the Dire side. The bans, for the most part, fairly standard. The one ban that's a bit different is probably the Mirana ban from LGD.
Yep. But at the same time, it's been getting a lot of attention from both of these teams, so not too much of a shocker to see them banning out this early. And we do see LGD grab that Ancient Apparition first, so that hero as well has been getting an insane amount of attention, and to a very good extent, because that is quite a strong hero lately.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yep. Well, we'll see what they go for in the LGD as a response to the Brewmaster. Newbee been opening a lot with the Enchantress. They've been running a lot of this hero on Banana. Their jungle player for LGD, they get the first pick AA. Chinese teams still just love the AA, like first pick all day long.
Same thing with even in the EU qualifiers. I think we've been seeing a good amount of that AA, and I feel like, okay, Clockwork. I was gonna say they could even opt to go for Furion off the bat, because we've been seeing Furion getting a lot of attention too, and Furion AA is quite a lethal combo.
Yeah, Clockwork AA synergy there as well. This is saying DK, if you're in their matches when they got the AA.
Yeah.
And the Chinese teams also build the AA quite differently. Like, a lot of the time we see the max Vortex by level 7. They go like a 1. They get Chilling Touch level 1, and then Cold Feet, and then max Vortex by like level 7. So.
I personally really like that build, because I mean, you're not really, unless you have a lot of lockdown on your team, Cold Feet doesn't tend to proc every single time.
Yeah.
And you don't really need all those charges of Chilling Touch. Like you already if you get 3 attacks off, that's basically you're gonna get the bonus damage from it, and there's not really any point to having the rest of it.
Generally, you're just trying to kill an offlane solo hero, and you just need level 1 to do so.
Yeah, and the bonus slow and the bonus magic resist decrease from that Ice Vortex is actually really overlooked in a lot of the time.
Well, I'm happy to say we've got an anti-mage and a morphling ban right now, so that's good news. We don't get the big carries. We saw a lot of teams resorting to the anti-mage yesterday when it got down to the tiebreakers in those big clutch matches. Something teams used against IG to great success, the anti-mage at least, with DK as well as Vici Gaming having success there. But no anti-mage, no morphling this time around.
Yeah, pretty happy to see that. There's still Naga in the pool, but we haven't been seeing any of these teams really pick up the Naga, thankfully.
These teams, Chinese teams don't run that much carry Naga, apart from CIS Black runs it a bit, but the other carries, I was about to say, LGD normally running the Weaver themselves, and then there's the Luna, of course, the other kind of big. If you ban the Luna here, like there's hard carries gone from the pool.
I feel like we've been seeing a lot of Lifestealer even over the Luna in a lot of these games, especially from China. Like they've just been throwing the Lifestealer basically anywhere. I've seen him actually in every single lane from the sides of LGD. Rabbits played him from mid to Yao off lane to, of course, Lin on the carry.
Okay. As far as, I mean, taking a step back, as far as looking at this match, do you think Newbee are heavy favorites coming in? Like, would you be putting your res on them, or are you thinking this is a pretty even matchup?
I think it's a pretty even matchup. Newbee are probably feeling quite good, like you said, because they're undefeated throughout this entire tournament so far. But at the same time, LGD's been showing a lot of patience. I think they've probably been playing a little bit sloppier than Newbee, so I think I give it probably 2-1 Newbee.
Yeah, 75% odds according to Dota2 Lounge, so pretty heavy Newbee favored there. But
wow.
Newbee haven't lost the game. The other thing is, maybe LGD, now that they're in the finals, are going to step it up a bit. Yeah. I think teams until this point were, I mean, a friend of mine was like, this is basically an exhibition match tournament. Like it's a bunch of show matches in some ways. Like it's structured like a tournament, but it's not a massive prize pool. There's WPC coming up, there's TI4 coming up. And also there's all the other extra activities going on. So I think for the teams, this is like just an extra kind of fun tournament on the side, not really something to be giving like 100% effort to win. They're still playing like as serious as possible, but they're not really in the right mindset, maybe.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, DK, like we were saying, we've said before, they looked pretty sloppy in this tournament.
Not the only team to look sloppy, but come WPC in 2 days' time, I think we'll see a new DK show up, as well as just some of the other teams who got knocked out early. But Newbee, They pick up the Doom, generally something they run in the offlane for Zhao 8, so they've got two of their core heroes with the Doom and the Brewmaster. I think we see Brewmaster mid, Doom to the offlane, unless you think otherwise.
No, that's probably what it's going to be. I mean, Moo's been playing an incredible Panda overall throughout the entire tournament. So not too much of a shocker if we see him playing that. Newbee actually opts to also ban out the Wraith King, which we've been seeing comboing up a lot with the Ancient Apparition, so not too much of a shocker seeing them ban that, because it can be quite a hard carry. I personally think it's much better if you just like run around with the Wraith King if you do end up having it, but either way, it's going to be banned out this game, and we'll see what LGD really opts to go for in this next pick, if they want to reveal their second support, or if they want to reveal another core.
Yep. Well, LGD, they've definitely got options available to them, although their kind of go-to carry here is largely taken to the pool. The Weaver and Morphling, I think two of Xiaotushi's more often played heroes. I haven't seen him play the Luna. I think Lifesteal is maybe something they go for here. And yeah, they go Lifesteal. So pretty standard stuff, and especially come game one, it's like your first game in the finals. You haven't really versed Newbee since the group stage, which was a best of one. Play to your strengths to some extent at least.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Newbee's heroes are quite good versus Lifesteal though at this point, but Lifesteal inside of a Clockwork, it's pretty good in Fest Gank if you can pull it off a lot of the times with the synergy, of course, with the Ancient Apparition ult coming online.
Yeah. Do you think they even go like one up that and get like a mid hero like a Puck or a Storm Spirit to also give Lifesteal and Infest Target, or is Clockwork going to be enough?
I'm sure they could. I mean, Puck's pretty good here because he can, of course, silence down the Brewmaster, do a lot of burst damage on top of Enchantress. So I think probably not the Storm. He hasn't really been getting too much love at all in any of the games. He's been getting banned every like once in a while, of course, for the Lifestealer bomb. But I feel like Puck fits LGD's lineup quite well because of course, the silence and the burst, and Doom can't really just walk up and doom him unless you're not really paying attention as a Puck.
Okay, well, we'll see what the plan's going to be here. Newbee have their fourth pick coming up. Still need one more support to go the Enchantress, but they're going to straight up pick the Viper now. So they reveal their three cores. They go Viper, Doom, Brewmaster, unless we see something crazy like a support Brewmaster. We saw that in our opening game earlier today, but with an Enchantress there, that's like no chance we're seeing that.
I don't think we're gonna.
That would be crazy.
That's some VP stuff right there.
That's the Virtus throw. And Brewmaster plus Enchantress support. But no, we'll see Brewmaster as a core hero. Presumably mid. Maybe they look to mix things up. That's something which Xiao did a really fantastic job of back in the LGD days, and even with Newbee, he's very willing to mix up the lanes a bit to try and just catch their opponents a bit off guard and get like a big laning advantage.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, even earlier today, when they were playing versus DK, we all thought it was going to end up being like a Panda mid, and they end up throwing Beastmaster mid and throwing Panda and Lich in the off lane.
Yep.
So yeah, they're not afraid to put their lanes anywhere, and I think that's also what LGD does a lot, and I think that leads a lot to the reason why both these teams are in this finals match.
All right. Well, we'll see what the plan's going to be here. Fourth pick coming up for LGD Gaming. Anything that stands out for you as far as what they need, what's lacking in their lineup here, and to deal with Newbee's Tricore?
I mean, we've been seeing a good amount of Rubik, so I think Rubik fits the lineup pretty good. Some nice spells to steal there. You're always going to get the Viper ult. Doom, of course, amazing spell. Panda spells, and yeah, they do go for the Rubik.
It's a good game. Rubik can always sit back, and good against just Enchantress ganks in the early game as well, having telekinesis. So
yep, gives him a little bit of outspam as well in case Newbee goes to try to push. He can just rotate up. Fade Bolt, very good spell to counter pushes.
Yep. Well, okay, we'll see fifth picks coming up now. Newbee still needing a support for their team. They're not going to be too fussed about what they get with the Enchantress. Vengeful Spirit still there. If they want something which is like a true hard support, if they want to go a bit greedier, there's maybe a Sand King if they want a bit more team fight. And the other thing is you're against a Lifestealer. Bane still available as well, having a Fiend Script, having something to go through the Rage. You've got Viper already, but you've got Viper as well as Doom, but adding one more on top of that.
Yeah, they go for banning out that Storm Spirit. They look at their lineup and they're like, all we really have versus a Storm would be Doom.
Yeah.
So if the Doom doesn't get off, Storm could actually be pretty lethal versus us. So they do ban it out, but there's still, of course, that Puck that we were talking about before. But then that would, of course, leave the Lifestealer to be a solo carry, which is not usually the most favorable, especially not versus the lineup of Newbee. Viper is pretty damn good versus Lifestealer throughout the whole game.
4 Protect 1 Lifestealer is bad news, generally speaking. Yeah. So that's where Storm's kind of like the nice blend of semi-carry as well as like Initiator. But, well, we'll see.
Yeah, Shadow Demon ban coming out too. So Shadow Demon also a very good hero versus Lifestealer, and of course, just a very good duo roaming combo with Enchantress. They can set up a lot of ganks if they decide to just smoke up with those two heroes combined.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, we'll go from here with LGD's last pick coming up here. If they want to get like another core to go with the Lifestealer, do you think they even consider like a Shadow Fiend or a Templar Assassin here?
10 seconds remaining.
Or is that like too greedy against Newbee's early game lineup?
5 seconds remaining.
I'm trying to think. The Puck doesn't look too bad, but yeah, look, it does leave that the poor Lifestealer.
Wow.
They do pick up and Rasta coming out of Newbee, so that's even more. That's going to bring a little bit more push, and it does make up for the fact that they were lacking some disable.
And this is where maybe you do go more towards the Puck because
yeah, and I'm actually looking like Newbee's Newbee's short lane is actually quite weak because, you know, Rasta's not really the strongest hero. They do have the Enchantress to try to assist them, and they do actually go for the Shadow Fiend like you were saying. Wow, I don't think we've seen this too often.
It is Radiant side, so you do have quick and easy access to your neutral camps there to stack and get some farm if you're getting zoned out of the lane. But Newbee are going to be looking to come like 10 to 15 minute mark. They're going to be pushing down towers and just 5-manning a lot, like with this kind of a lineup.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Shadow Fiend's a pretty good pick here because it's Radiant, but at the same time, Newbee does have this Enchantress, so they can set up a whole lot of ganks. And if they can shut down that Shadow Fiend quite early, it could end up being quite disastrous.
Yeah. Do you think they still send the Shadow Fiend mid with this lineup, or do they even consider like doing like we've seen Lifestealer +1s go mid every now and then and put Shadow Fiend in the safe lane, or is that just going to make their lanes a bit too unorthodox?
I think that's probably better, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because I mean, Shadow Fiend did decide to go for a Wraith Band right away, so it wouldn't be a rush bottle. So I feel like he's actually probably going to go toward that short lane, and they're going to maybe throw just the Lifestealer in mid again, maybe with like an AA or something, and just try to give him like a nice dual lane to try to pick him up some farm. Because I feel like they really need lane to just be able to have a ton of farm in this game, and him up against the Doom off lane, he'll be able to do just fine.
All right, well, we'll introduce our two teams here in our grand finals, best of 3 of the Mars TV Dota 2 League. We're going to have LGD Gaming playing on the Radiant side. We've got Rabbit or Zhao Tuji playing the Lifesteal. We've got Lin on the Shadow Fiend, Yao playing the Clockwork, DD on the support Rubik, DDC playing the support Ancient Version, Smoked Up or LGD heading towards the top lane. They're going to be facing off against Newbee. We've got Hao playing the Viper, we've got San Sheng playing the Shadow Shaman, Banana on the Enchantress, Mu playing the Brewmaster, and finally, in the offlane, Zhao 8, Boots and Observer Ward playing the Doombringer.
Yeah, they want to try to catch somebody and get the wards down aggressively into Newbee's jungle. They don't want Enchantress just to be able to get whatever creeps she wants and put pressure all over the place. But Newbee, all standing around, defending that area. But it could be pretty bad if they aren't all together when they get caught out. And it looks like LGD might be able to actually catch them, but they are spotted out by the Viper there. And yeah, Newbee will be perfectly fine. But the wards will get put down by LGD, so Enchantress might have to just go into that aggressive jungle.
Yeah, one Sentry Ward going to block the medium camp, and DD is going to do pinging the little cliff spot. Actually, he's going to plop it down right in the middle of the camp. Seems Newbee maybe going to be expecting on that cliff, but that's not going to be the case. Already Sentry Ward's on your Enchantress, and Banana also has double smoke, so if you had any doubts about what he's going to be planning on doing, it's going to be ganking a lot and ganking early.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, this is why I feel like they might actually put the dual lane mid. They could even do a Shadow Fiend mid. And something, I've seen a couple teams do this, but it's really, really rare. But they end up putting the AA mid just for one creep wave, and they give the Shadow Fiend the buff, and they give him those free souls because of the AA buff. So it's actually a really good strategy that I've seen very few teams actually do.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, 3 last hits, that's +6 damage for you, so that makes a world of difference in the long run. So we'll see AA starting off in the mid lane, and maybe not going to use a Chilling Touch right away. He can Chilling Touch both. He can go harass the Brewmaster while Shadow Fiend gets the last hits, and he does just that. And DDC just going to zone out Brewmaster. Gets the miss on the first right click, but...
You keep those charges at least if you miss.
Yeah.
3 misses in a row. ... He gets 4 misses. Scales the crit on the side of Mu. 5 misses. Oh my goodness.
He finally gets one. Oh my god.
And he gets that one too.
Yeah. DDC. That was like the high ground combined with the passive evasion. Oh man, that was some RNG. Lin missing a last hit here or there, but hey, he's already got himself 6 souls, and this is where AA doesn't. His job's done. He can head down towards his bottom lane if he wants to.
Yeah, and I actually give this lane heavily in favor toward the Shadow Fiend over a Panda. Even if anything happens, especially as Radiant, he's able to just go to the jungle and boost his farm so much harder. And once if he gets a couple early levels in the races, of course, he's able to put so much pressure onto that Panda.
Yeah. Bottom lane, they are going in aggressive on Zhao 8 here. Zhao 8's got boots here, looking for a body block his DD, but we'll just get a couple more right clicks off Zhao 8.
Top lane, Yao's taking some harassment, but gets the cogs off, and yeah, they're not going to take him down.
Yeah. Just a dual lane here with the Enchantress in the jungle. Enchantress not using any smokes just yet. Do you look to gank someone mid lane, or is that just too hard of a lane to actually gank on your own? Wow,
Mu's getting a ton of pressure on him, but Enchantress, I feel like he's gonna wait for his. I think did he block his own big camp with that sentry? I think he did.
He got the insta D ward off, and he's gonna go for a solo smoke. He can't really kill mid, not with just level 2 clap, I guess.
I think he might just be smoking to get into the enemy jungle right now, because his creep's gonna be expiring any minute now, and he just realizes that he blocked his own camp, so that was really unfortunate there for Banana.
Okay. Well, Zhao 8's gonna scout the Rubik on the high ground here. He's gonna come in Devour Satyr, so a really nice creep to get. A lot of experience as well as gold from that, and...
Zhao 8's kind of in a weird... No, he should be fine though. Yeah. But they will spot Banana now walking into the woods.
They know he's here. DDC gets his clarity broken, but that's not really the end of the world for him, and Banana's presence now known in this Radiant jungle.
slow early game. Banana trying to make some action, but his camps are just all warded, so he's like, God, what do I do? And he picks up the mana burn creep now.
His camps are warded, and Zhao 8 stole like the big satyr. So.
Yeah. But thankfully his sentry should be coming down pretty soon. But I think it's actually gonna block the 3-minute camp as well. So unfortunate there for him, even more for him.
Yeah. Shadowfiend actually rushed boots over bottle here. I guess just worried about those enchantress ganks a little bit, and the boots help you out as far as surviving those. So.
He's not really spamming his mana down too hard either, so if you can get a decent positioning with a few right clicks, you might actually surprise a panda and try to net a kill. But Moo's pretty high health right now, and yeah, I feel like Lin should have probably just gone for the bottle because his AA is also stacking for him, so he probably could have just gone and did that medium camp with the bottle and then gone back to the mid lane and just bottle crowed.
Yeah. He's 15 CS to the 13 on the Brewmaster, so as bad as that first wave or two went for Brewmaster getting zoned out, he's on par with your Shadowfiend for now. So Shadowfiend will take off soon once he starts killing off some neutral stacks, which he's got a double stack on the big camp, double stack on the medium camp as well, and this is good news for I think LGD with the opening as far as their Shadowfiend is concerned at least.
Yeah, for sure. And Enchantress is just having a rough time trying to find the creeps so that he can gank, but now his big gank will be spawning quite soon, so he'll be able to get his second creep up and definitely smoke right away and probably head right toward that mid lane. Yao, walking from his top lane, gonna go check that top rune while Zhao 8 doing the exact same thing probably. Going to that big camp, devouring another creep, and then running toward that bottom rune.
Yeah, he's hit level 3.5, so Rubik can maybe scout out from the high ground here. Could look for a deny on the rune should it spawn bottom lane, and it does. Haste rune, denied by DD from up top, and well, things settled now. So as far as teams making their first move, it looks like Banana and Sansheng grouping up here. They've got smoke ready for Banana, the second smoke here with a Centaur, and this may be time to strike for Newbee.
Yeah, for sure. And I think their actions should be go to mid, but it's really hard to gank that Radiant mid lane. It's extremely difficult unless you just catch them off guard when the lane's too pressured in. So maybe they're just going to try to go bottom and get a kill on the Rubik, or even the Lifestealer if he's caught very off guard. But no, looks like they're going toward that mid lane, and with Xiao.
They'll bring Doom as well to be on the safe. So they ran to DDC, which should be our first blood here. Unfortunately, it's not the kill they want, but it's a kill nonetheless. The Centaur Stomp going to follow things up, and DDC goes down to the Enchantress there. The clap.
Moo wanted that last hit.
Yeah. I could have maybe tried to leave it for him so he can get that really fast blink dagger, but not going to happen.
And meanwhile, Hao doing an amazing job top lane. I don't think he's missed really any creeps while in the meantime. Rabbit, I think, has missed a couple, but he was trying to zone out Zhao, and they almost netted a kill. And now Zhao spots those stacks in the jungle as well as Newbee, or as well as Banana and Sansheng, and they're clearing it. They don't want Shadowfiend to be able to get all those.
This is really nice play. I don't know if they're going to go for both stacks here. AA's coming in just to see if they're actually up to that one, and not going to be the case. At least not just yet. Banana still nearby.
He needs to be careful on DDC right now. Those double Centaur, but no.
One Centaur about to expire here. They try to get the kill, and the race actually gets it just before it expires, so 77 gold goes away with the Shadowfiend, who's now level...
Yeah, and Zhao 8 picks up some very early arcane boots to give to his two support buddies. And now, DD getting caught out, but Sansheng's going to get blown up by the two raises.
They may not even get the kill on DD, just barely. One last Enchantress right click gets the kill here. Zhao 8's low. Lin getting blocked up by the Centaur here, turns around, hits a nice close raise, and now Moo coming in. He's level 6, so if he gets a clap into an ultimate, it's definitely a kill. Could even just look to throw the ultimate, but doesn't really want it just for an AA kill. Lin being protected by the Lifestealer here. Moo's going to be so careful. He's in deep here. DDC gets crit, and one or two more right clicks could finish him off. Brewmaster going to get this kill. Moo's now kind of deep into enemy lines. Looks like Lifestealer and Shadowfiend don't want anything to do with him, though. That's really... They just let Brewmaster walk up to like their tier 2 bottom tower and just get a kill there. That's
kind of weird that they didn't even pressure him. They could have even forced... I feel like they could have forced him to at least ulti after he chases that far, but they decide to just go back to their lanes and farm up because they don't want to miss too many creeps, I guess. And Rabbit looks like he's going to end up going for that Midas on the Lifesteal, which I completely agree with because like we were saying, actually... Yeah, Midas is still really good, overall on that hero, because he was not getting full experience down there because Rubik was sharing some, and Yao might get wrapped on top lane, but no, he's very aware of this.
Often he gets the phase boots first, so I think he still maybe goes back for the Midas, but the phase boots just help him zone out the Doom. It's kind of personal preference. Meanwhile, mid lane, they've gone in on Sansheng. He's taken over this mid lane to try to get his level 6, but he'll pay the price. Rubik gets the kill with the Fade Bolt, and...
A nice wrap by DD there, but he might actually get caught by Zhao 8 here as he's chasing him with the Scorched Earth. He has nothing up right now, and this should be a pretty easy kill for Zhao 8.
Rotation coming in from the AA. One right click is there. Not going to get a second with the AA. Nice Vortex use, and... AA is going for 2 in Cold Feet for now. We talked a lot about different AA builds, and he seems to be potentially maxing out Cold Feet this game.
They do have the clockwork cogs, so if someone gets caught in, they can easily get cold feeded afterwards, as well as lift if you used it properly. You can
even open wounds. Like they've got a lot of setup for that. So
yeah, and I'm actually regretting saying that he can go. I think he should probably just go for fighting items early on, and he looks like he's going to try to dive Zhao 8 a bit down here. Very aggressive by him, and Shansheng's in position for this. Gets instant hex, and now
gets
he gets
in
him fast off.
for the shackles.
Oh, Shansheng decided to use Aftershock instead of just
Straight
using the
shackles.
shackle right away, but it looks like Rabbit might still be in some trouble. Nope, phase boots. Good purchase.
He gets out of that. That could have gone a whole worse for him. Zhao 8's still lingering around this bottom lane, and Rabbit, he's thinking, let's see if I can get aggressive here. Has a salve on himself, and Moo unable to really go on him. Moo's completely mana depleted, so he may have his ultimate, but he's not got any way of using it. He's up to 1,500 gold, so he should be looking at a very fast Blink Dagger, and fortune favors the brave as Moo finds an illusion rune at the 8-minute market bottom.
Yep. And Hao's going to have his mech basically finished up with his treads now, so he's going to be extremely tanky, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we see them gather up and try to go for this mid tower, and then even ward up Shadow Fiend's jungle so he can't get too much explosive farm.
The 5-man from Newbee is just going to be quickly become scary. You can have a Blink on Brewmaster, Doom, who's got Arcane Boots and maybe a Drums fairly soon, as well as a level 6. Once Doom's level 6 and your Viper, he's got his mech and you got your Blink Dagger up, there's nothing LGD can really do to fight them, I feel. They are going to have phase drums on their life steal, so as you said, early game fighting is going to be the name of the game for Rabbit.
Yeah, he's got to make space for Lin. Like, they have excellent late game if they can even get to that point, or if they even have a good start in the mid game, and Shadow Fiend starts to snowball, it's going to be incredibly advantageous for them.
Yeah. Well, for now, we'll see if SF can just keep up the fight here.
Another smoke coming out from the side of Newbee, and it looks like they're doing exactly what I was saying, going toward that mid lane, put the pressure on that Shadow Fiend, win with the Panda ulti as well.
Yep. Now, max corrosive skin for him.
They want to wrap completely around the tower.
They can just dive this. Doom is making his way towards mid lane as well, so they've got all 5 ready for this one. They've got the Doom up. Shadow Shaman just level 4 as well as the Enchantress who's level 5, but you don't need your supports hitting level 6 for this one. Now wants to just go diving in. He gets revealed from smoke. They see him. They know he's coming. Are they going to focus him down? The Rocket Flare to lead things off. There's a hook shot. It misses, though. And with that, I think LGD need to back off. They need to be careful. But Rabbit shows up with the drums. Hao gets locked on by the cold feet. Hao in trouble as well as the supports here. Shantae taking a lot of damage underneath the tower here. Hao pops the mech. Helps out his team. Banana under this T1 tower. Getting very low. The Viper's already killed one, though. This Viper just so goddamn tanky. That max corrosive skin. And it's Lin. Down to 25 HP. Just managed to get his way out of there. DDC on the run. And LGD somehow only lose one there. They also don't manage to kill anyone in this T1 tower. Can you get somewhat siege here? Doom was also used. I guess that was used on the Clockwork?
No, it was actually used on Rabbit, and he was getting hit down, but
Gotcha.
they decided to switch targets to the Shadow Fiend. I think they could have actually cleaned him up, but Hao was trying to reposition himself to avoid the cold feet, but got stunned anyway now. Yao TP's right into a Panda with ulti, and the mech is going to be up again on the side of Hao pretty soon. This teamfight's going to go very one-sided for Newbee.
Yeah, with the Cyclone, they can just set up kill after kill here. It looks like DDC is going to be the next target here. They get the shackles onto Lin as well. Lin's trying to fight his way out, bring down the Shadow Shaman with him. The cold feet is actually not even needed. They get the kill with the raise there, but the chase is on. Viper gets himself a double kill underneath the tower here. Hao is just so beefy right now. 900 HP with just Agi treads with a mech, and he's also got max corrosive skin. Like, the max corrosive skin build is paying off so much here because it slows everyone in the team fight and does decent damage as well, and to anyone who actually attacks him, which a Clockwork with Rocket Flare, you attack him. Shadow Fiend with Raise, you accidentally attack him.
Yeah. And now, at the same time as all that's happening, Banana actually survived during all that as the Enchantress, so he's got 3 earn charges on him and 1,200 gold. So if he wants to, he can opt for his early Aghanims, but usually we do see them go for like a 4-staff first on the Enchantress, maybe, or going for the treads just to make himself a little bit more tanky in those fights.
Yeah, I think just getting some raw HP. I guess the point booster gives you that, so maybe we'll wait and see. But Moo, Blink Dagger online, ready to go at this mid lane. He didn't have the blink for that last fight, I don't believe.
No, he didn't have it. He picked it up like during the fight, but like they benefited so much from that, and Panda now has his blink as well.
Yeah.
Doom's back online again. Mech's ready. More items flying out on the courier. It's Aquila coming to the Viper and his magic stick, so he's going to be even tankier.
Clap on the DDC on the back line. Moo doesn't actually want to go in. He blinks out, and that also avoids the cold feet proc. And yeah, now has hookshot back up, but this tier 1 tower gets nicely denied by LGD. Well timed on the double range right clicks, but they're getting so little in exchange here. They are getting some farm on Rabbit at the bottom lane, but still seeing on just phase boots and drums.
Yep. And when Rasta hits 6, they have to watch out because Newbee can always just go into the Roche pit.
Yeah.
Or they can just force even more towers. I think they should probably just go for that bottom tier tower first once the Rasta hits 6 and just try to get some wards out in the enemy jungle like I was saying before. Just to slow down the Shadow Fiend's farm as well as have vision on the further side. So they can probably go for that Roshan in a bit.
Sansheng gets mid lane to himself to help him get that level 6. Serve mode's going to be really important to bring down towers, or as you
Dire's
said,
bottom
Roshan.
tower is under
I just
attack.
don't see LGD really in a position where they can even contest Roshan. Fighting into a Viper with mech, treads, and, well, now 1k gold on top of that, so you can pick up an Ogre Club or a point booster very, very soon. Your Enchantress has some treads picked up. Newbee off to a great start. 7 kills to 4. It's a 4k gold lead, though, as well as about a 1500 experience lead, but the gold lead is really what stands out right now.
Yeah, and Hao moves toward that bottom lane, so he wants to he doesn't want Rabbit to get full free farm, and he's going to pressure him. That's something we see, that's what I love about Hao. He's very involved on his carries, no matter what he plays. He always tries to pressure the enemy carry.
Yeah. Well, Sansheng, not quite level 6, but he's also making his way towards this bottom lane. If they want to go for a push, he can just leech some experience to get that level 6, but teams Newbee aren't committed to this one. They've got Doombringer at the top lane. Could theoretically TP in. They've got Enchantress actually seeming to swing down towards bottom lane. Does have a smoke if she wants to use that one, but Xiao stockpiled a lot of gold. Do you think this is a blink rush from him? Or is this going to be something else?
I think it'll probably be a blink rush. If he can just get him, he's got the Centaur Stomp as well as Arcane Boots too, so if he can get a nice stun on some people, and also just blinking in and dooming that Lifestealer, it's going to be pretty unfortunate for them. And uh-oh, DDC might get caught out now by the Centaur Stomp.
Viper Strike goes on Rabbit instead. Xiao chasing with a Doom here. Moose chasing. He's got a Haster and they're going to Doom Rabbit in. Once this clap comes, this is going to be a dead Rabbit. Lin may look for a deny here. We'll see if he can time this right. He's trying to hang around, but he does not want to die himself. That's the problem. If he stays around, he gets caught out himself. And Hookshot goes on the Hao underneath the tower here. The Primal Split's already there. Yao going to be in a lot of trouble as a result. Hao may not get a chance to use his mech because he does get caught up by the Ice Blast, but he doesn't need it. He's still got 1k HP. The Shadow Fiend now going to be the next target here. They kill the Ancient Apparition elsewhere. That's your Enchantress, and Lin dies under his tier 2. It's a mega kill for Hao. 13.5 minutes in, and Newbee already.
They didn't even have their Rasta, and look what Sansheng's doing in bottom lane. Solo pressure in this tower, and he's going to get it with the Rasta wards for sure.
This game is already looking like it's in the bag for Newbee. It's looking really ugly in the early game, and LGD I thought their draft was okay, and I think they played the draft like pretty decently for the most part, but Newbee just walk all over them. Like, I think LGD trying to force the fight a bit too much mid lane, and
yeah, they need to just trying to defend some of those mid towers was unfortunate, but Newbee's rotation was just incredible. They just wrapped right behind the tower and just brought the fight right on top of them. Yao missing that hook shot in that early fight was actually pretty big of a deal because I feel like they could have isolated the Viper and maybe even taken him out quite early in that engagement.
Yeah. If they burst down the Viper, I think they can prevent a lot of the aggression that followed up, but it's still a big ask because he did have mech at that point, and your AA was not level 6 yet.
Yep. And the one good thing that LGD does have to stop the Roshan at least is those Clockwork Rockets plus AA ult. So it won't be the easiest thing for Newbee to bring in, but if they end up using the Rasta wards and everything, it's not like LGD can really just walk in there.
Clock did go for max battery assault build, and this is one of those games where I feel like he's probably not getting the most out of the max battery assault. He hasn't really been. He's 0-3-1. Max rocket flare probably would have actually done him better this game than the battery assault.
Yeah, probably. And they're doing a great job of shutting down Lin. Even though he's got 3 kills on him, he's still not really able to do anything. And now they're going top trying to set up a gank on the Viper, but I don't know if that's the right target. Yao Hook misses as well, but
even if that hits, one TP in from like a Brewmaster or a Doom, and I don't think Viper dies there.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, they could maybe bring him down eventually because of the AA ult, and if they do everything, but it's not really gonna go too well. And Xiao setting up bottom for that blink Doom onto Rabbit, so Rabbit needs to be a bit careful here. He's stepping up a little bit too far, but yeah.
He backs off at just the right time. Doom deciding not to commit to that kill on his own. He was waiting for some support backup. Sansheng, he's going to have a 4-star very, very soon. Doesn't even go for the Arcane Boots. Just straight 4-star rush from Sansheng. And this is a great item against Lifestealer especially.
I wonder why they're actually stacking those Ancients. I guess for later on they want to do them, but they don't really have any heroes that can clear them that easily. They have like Rasta wards if you want to dedicate something like that, but those don't even kill it too quickly at all.
You plan for the future.
Yeah, I guess so. Why not?
In Australia, we have superannuation, which is like when any job you work, like a % of your income goes to like your retirement fund. Like even if you're 18 years old and you're like, dude, why are you doing this? Like I don't care about my retirement fund. I'm 18 years old, but you still do it. It still happens.
Yep, and they do decide, they're using the Rasta wards on it.
Okay.
With Medallion as well, so it's probably going to clear it relatively quickly.
Levels as well, I guess. These heroes, I mean, they're already level 7, and Shadow Shaman has most of his spells he wants, but
it looks like they're not really in a rush. They got all the tier 1 towers down. They warded the magic push on the side of LGD, so there's not too much farm there. And they know that LGD's only action is going to be in that top lane, so they just have their tankiest hero just chilling up there. And it looks like they might try to engage on him again, and I don't know if that's going to go too well. Panda blinking or TPing up there will just turn the fight completely around. And Rabbit's not even there.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, Rabbit's not there. They're struggling to finish off this Ancient stack, unfortunately. Even with the Serpent Wards, they don't kill it all off, but they'll get it in due time. Xiao going to show up to help him out, and I imagine next Serpent Wards, if not tier 2 towers, they're probably going to be going for Roshan with that Medallion. I'm actually surprised. Like, Serpent Wards and Medallion, you think, oh, they're going Roshan right now. But it was not the case. And they smoke up, so it's not even Roshan now. They want to go for some kills here. They're really just trying to catch LGD off guard. And it may be Rabbit at bottom lane who falls prey to this. Especially if they think Newbee are going Roshan. Rabbit may think he's safe here.
Yeah, definitely a bit over-ambitious trying to drop those wards and clear that ancient stack. They don't do too much damage, but Rabbit's getting... He's just having constant pressure on himself, and he's not able to farm the way that he definitely needs to this game, and he might even get caught out here.
Yeah.
Yep, there's the Doom, and yeah, he's going to go down
Clap.
very quickly.
TP's coming in, but this is not something that Yao wants to fight here. If he gets shackled, he would have died there. Oh, could see a Cyclone coming. I don't think they would have died past the T2 tower, but gets the Cyclone off anyways. No follow-up right now. Brewmaster... retreat with the Earth Panda and leave the other pandas to fight. May need another Cyclone.
Weird micro there. Uh-oh. He should be fine anyway, though.
Yeah. Hookshot, not going to be available. He gets Cycloned up at the last second. So they're going to pick up on the life stealer.
How is just exploding with farm, too. He just went top, and now I think he's finished up his Ag Scepter pretty soon. Yeah, it's all at base right now, but it's all over the floor because there's a magic wander. So, yeah. Full Ags coming out to the Viper.
Courier.
Treads Aquila Ags mech at the 18-minute mark. He's going to be incredibly tanky as well as just being able to constantly throw out those Viper strikes. Luckily for LGD, though, they do at least have the BKB finished up on the Shadow Fiend.
It's only going to help him so much. There's so much that goes through it when you look at Viper Ultimate. I mean, I guess SF can just still use his spells, but you've got Doom as well. Though Doom, for the most part, has been focused on that Lifestealer, but with the SF BKB, maybe we see that even changing at this point. And then you've got the Medallion, so you just right-click down the Shadow Fiend with the Medallion.
And Roster Wards is just a great item overall versus... Great ability overall versus BKBs, because of course they're physical damage. And we do see DD actually opt to go for Treads on the Rubik. I don't think I've seen that in quite a while, but... I think he just sees that he needs to be able to like have some sustain in these team fights.
Yeah, I think it looked like he initially wanted to go for an urn, but then he's like, wait, I'm never gonna get any urn charges. Like, what's the point? This is not a game where they're finding kills, especially the Rubik. He's gonna be dying in fights. Maybe Lifestealer gets a fight with like an AA Ice Blast, but for DD to get urn charges,
Moo just clapped the floor. Trying to go on AA, but he ended up just clapping the floor. But they are deep. The control out of the side of Newbee. They're getting all of the wards taken out from the side of LGD. So LGD's got no vision. They go into the Roche pit. Are they going to dedicate the wards? They do with the Medallion.
They don't even care if they get scattered going in.
There's no way LGD can contest that.
Yeah.
They have to try to split push the lanes out, because even mid lane is pretty terrifying for them, because Mu is set up there.
This mid lane is so close to the Roshan pit. So after Roshan, they'll be here in no time at all. And they can even send a few heroes there early, which it looks like they are trying to do. Doom, Zhao wait nearby. They get the H on the Viper, and yeah, this push, this ain't happening.
Yeah, no way. And starting looking pretty rough for LGD. 10,000 gold lead for Newbee now.
It's just going to keep getting worse and worse, it feels like. This is pre-tier 2 towers being sieged. They haven't used Serpent Wards once to try and bring down a tier 2 tower. And that's something I feel Newbee have almost like lightened up on the pressure. Like they use Serpent Wards to bring down Ancients, they use it for Roche. They could be really going heavy on these tier 2 towers, but they've given LGD at least some space to work with for now. But now that Newbee have these big items, probably going to see that change pretty soon.
Everybody on the side of Newbee just has an incredible amount of farm. And then just looking at LGDs, just comparing at least the offlaners, Zhao Wei has Arcane Boots, Blink, Ogre Axe. I think he has 2100 gold too, and Yao only has Brown Boots and Belt of Giant Strength. The only real big items on the side of LGD at all is that BKB and that Armlet. And I guess Drum you can include.
Yeah. They've got the two heroes who are like kind of up to par as far as their cores go, but for Newbee, everyone is overfarmed. Their cores are overfarmed, their supports are overfarmed. It's just...
They're over-leveled as well, too. Doom level 11, while Yao is only level 7 on that Clockwork. And he's been able to find 0 pickoffs so far with that max battery assault. And the whole point of really getting that build is so that you can get solo pickoffs. But Newbee's doing a great job of just sticking together.
And importantly, Brewmaster's level 11. So level 2 Brewmaster only gets a whole lot stronger.
And he's got his Ags in a second, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be really devastating for LGD. They cannot team fight, but they're under so much pressure of farming because the dewarding from Newbee has just been spot on.
Yeah, there's nowhere they can really go to farm here. Clockwork just picks up some value treads himself, so just whatever cheap HP they can get to help him out, they're going to get if you're on the LGD side, but how much is this going to matter? It seems they're going to now go for some tier 2 towers. They bring 3 heroes down towards bottom lane. They've got the Shadow Shaman wards, Doom on his way as well, and Brewmaster can kind of just solo defend the split push from LGD, and if they really commit to a tower, that's where one hero TP's in, he blink ultis, and well, there goes your push.
He's got a haste rune in his bottle too, so pretty terrifying if he doesn't use the ulti too early.
Well, they are going to show a lot of heroes towards this mid lane. Brewmaster has used his haste rune. Maybe going to consider going back mid to defend. Yeah, they'll go for this bottom tier 2 tower and then send Brewmaster mid. And that's your Rubik and possibly Shadow Fiend in trouble. Shadow Fiend's got his BKB. He really wants his tower. There is a glyph available. They're going to use it soon. They do so. Primal Split going to come in. BKB TP from Lin. He gets Doom, though. He's going to go for the tower, but that's all he's going to get out of this one out. The Viper Strike going to slow him down. He does get the tower in the end, but pays for it with his life.
Definitely not worth it.
Not worth it at all. I mean, I don't even think that's a misplay from LGD. If they're sitting in their base at that point, they're just losing the game. So you've got to at least try and take some chances, and Newbee just see it coming.
Yeah, Newbee just overall. It's not, I don't even know if it's really like an out draft, but they just ended up getting so much more out of their hero picks. Xiaowei got a ton in that offlane, just constantly walking over, eating that big camp, getting his levels as best as he could. And Newbee's rotations, Shansheng and Enchantress just going into the LGD jungle and just taking even the stacks for Shadow Fiend. So he wasn't able to explode with farm at all, even though he did have such a great laning phase.
And this was with Banana on the getting his neutral camps blocked out. Like, he did not have the best time in the early game as an Enchantress, but didn't seem to matter.
Doom BKB,
Doom BKB.
Eggs.
Oh god, this is not going to end well. Primal Split's on cooldown for 60 seconds. It looks like server mods will be cleaned up on the high ground here. Rabbit gets Viper Strike, then we'll see Doom devour and blink and be on his merry way. But once that Primal Split's back up, maybe they re-engage here. The creep equilibrium pretty good. Top lane needs maybe a bit of pushing out, but bottom lane in a fantastic position, so they don't even need to back off if they don't want to.
Yeah, they're just going to back up farm a little bit. I feel like they should still be staying in the enemy woods because they're quite far ahead, and I feel like they should feel that way. But it looks like they're just gonna go teleport their Panda top, get the lanes pushed out into their favor better, farm some ancients for each other, and just pick up a little bit more items before they just death bomb it.
It's Newbee playing a bit safer than maybe they need to, but they know well and truly that this game is theirs to lose. So making sure that they don't put themselves in a position where that's going to happen. They've still got this Aegis on the Viper, which is only going to last another 2 minutes, but they decide that's at least a minute or so where they can be farming. They pick up a Yasha on Hal now, and I think we see them go back towards that middle lane. Primal Split up in 5 seconds, Serpent Ward's up in 35. By the time they reach near that mid lane, they'll be ready to go with their ultimates once again.
Yeah, and even Rasta's getting farmed as well, too. He's, I think, 2,000 gold from his Ag Scepter. He's got the point boost, and he's got, I think, the Blade of Alacrity at base that got dropped on the floor. And Rabbit, I mean, it looks like he's going to be going for a Linken's next, but they have a lot of targetable spells on the side of Newbee, not just the Doom. So, yeah, he's just trying to get anything, really, and he's 0-2-0.
That's
not really able to do much.
That's your safe lane farmer, and he farmed well. Like, there wasn't too much more. Lin, 3-2-1, slightly better game for him. He's actually been involved in all the kills for LGD, but he's picked up a Crystallis on Shadow Fiend. This is kind of like a do-nothing item in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I don't really know what he could go, honestly. Like,
I don't either. It's maybe you get like the Yasha just for some like value, like the value Yasha, but I don't even think that does much better than the Crystallis.
Maybe even just like a blink dagger so you can get the hell away from them. But yeah, I mean,
you get the go big, go home, Mask of Madness build.
I mean,
I wouldn't mind that.
I don't think it would be that horrible. I guess I don't know. I really have no idea what they could even do at this point to try to bring this game back. It's really, like you were saying, Newbee's game to lose.
Yeah, they're pushing the top lane. They're not really too close anymore. Like big key levels here. The Viper not that, still a couple levels from level 16. Similar for the Brewmaster here. They're kind of blinking forward here. Maybe considering going on Lin in the mid lane. Yeah, wait. Would love to find this pick off here with a Doom, but Lin's already TPing out and will manage to do so. If they get the last outer tower of the game.
Ooh, Rabbit gets spotted down bottom.
Oh, are they going to be anyone for this? Doom goes, definitely a kill they can get. But he's going to remain hidden for now, thinking about going for this tier 1 bottom tower. But this tier 1 bottom tower is still on like 2/3 HP.
We're going to see a lot of Ag Scepters. Enchantress getting toward his, Rasta getting toward his, Panda has his, Viper has his.
Doom could go
Doom could go in as well. 5 Ag Scepter game.
Tower
Good heroes, all heroes with Ag Scepter buffs.
Yep. And Rabbit just TP's out, can't even commit to that bottom tier 1 tower. He sees the push coming and realizes, look guys, I need to get back here. Serpent Ward's dropped on the high ground here. The creep wave does get pulled away, but Hal can just push onto the high ground. He's lost his Aegis, unfortunately. Rabbit actually is going to be moved, blinking with a clap here. The ultimate goes in as well. Lin.
DD got Ross towards.
Oh, steals the Serpent Ward's going to turn this one around. Xiaowei has not used his Doom just yet, and SF gets off a Requiem here. This is not a bad hold from LGD, but it's still not going to be enough. Rubik would love to have stolen that Primal Split at this stage of the game, but he's dead, taken out of the fight. Rabbit's going to be the next to fall. He goes down, instantly buys back here. The Serpent Ward's trying to hold this one for the LGD side with the stolen Rubik wards, but it's just not enough. Everyone on Newbee still full HP. They've still got Doom. They've still got, well, Viper Strike, of course, because of the Aghanim Scepter, but
a nice steal by him. I was about to say, too, like, right before the fight engaged, Sensing threw his wards down without even casting anything else. I think he could have just jolted the creeps, at least. So, Rubik saw the DD saw the opportunity to stall those wards, and that actually I think that helps defend their racks a lot. Even though they lost a couple people and they actually forced, what, it was Lifestealer to buy out, it wasn't the biggest loss for LGD. I'd say that, but like, you know.
No, I completely agree with you, but it's like, well, it's not a win.
Yeah.
Right now they need huge wins to get back in this game. They're 15k goal behind. It's really ugly there. I just don't see a comeback mechanic. Like, Shadow Fiend needs to buy that Daedalus ASAP. There's no point saving for buyback. You need just to hope for some huge, massive crits to win you a team fight. Yeah, I don't know.
This is ugly. This is pretty ugly.
Bottom lane, they switched to bottom lane. Like, you just get that tier 3 tower, Rax is exposed, but they're like, hey, let's go farm out their jungle, swing bottom.
How is enormous.
SF gets the Mask of Madness.
How's he finished up a Manta now too on that Viper. What's his goal per minute? I didn't even take a look at that either. So he's sitting at 548 on a Viper, so that's pretty damn good because Viper doesn't really have any of those, you know, explosive farm abilities. Flash farm, whatever.
he's top of the net worth, and for Newbee, they're just going to keep pushing out these lanes here. They've lost their Aegis. It seems they're waiting for the next Roshan, so they didn't get to use the last Aegis, but they want to maybe try and use the next one to get themselves some Raxes here. DD going to walk into Moo here on the Brewmaster, but not exactly a hero you can legitimately kill with just a telekinesis as your only real lockdown.
Oh, Rabbit gets doomed up now, and he's getting gone on. He's doomed, gets stunned up, and it looks like Xiao should actually be able to just kill him alone here.
Another level death in a couple seconds, which it looks like he may need. Clap is there, and Moose says, I'll take this kill. He's got 4k gold suddenly, so let's get some Necro 3s, Moo. Why not?
Yeah, this is really depressing for LGD. I feel like
this is a game that's almost like not worth staying in. Because,
yeah.
Like, I feel like this is just demoralizing. Like, it's almost worth calling GG. Like, even a couple minutes ago, calling GG.
Yeah, I feel
sure, it's a grand final, but
I feel quite bad for Yao. I mean, he missed his 2 hooks, which I don't even know if one of them would have been too great of an opportunity because they probably would have gone and turned around on. But he missing that 1 hook on that fight in mid lane might have actually been kind of a big deal. But he's just had a really rough game all around.
Shiva's Guard for your Doom, Brewmaster with a BKB, items galore. Like every time Newbee comes at LGD, it's just with a new set of big luxury items. Viper's Manta Style you talked about, and there we go. 7-1's dropped on the high ground. No steal from the Rubik. He's loved to get in close for that one, but also a bit afraid of being jumped on. So now we'll see these Surfmods just siege down the racks here. Viper Strike gets thrown onto Yao. Yao's actually going to take a lot of damage. The Clap is going to bring him down. That is, well, if Yao wasn't sad already, he's now absolutely depressed. And
GG. They just dropped the GGs. Yeah, they know.
I think that's was definitely not a too early GG.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't even think LGD played that badly at all. I think Newbee's just playing. They play like they want to win, really.
Yeah, they're playing and also drafting really well. Like, you look at that second banning stage, they ban out all these hard carries. Heroes that Hal likes to play, but they pull out the Viper. And I think this is one of those cases where I know Fear hates the Viper. You're not a big fan of the Viper, but I see a game like this and I just think, man, like, Viper's actually a pretty legit hero. Like, when you see him used like this, in this kind of a strategy.
He's incredibly tanky, and if you can just get that 5-man death ball, he ends up being like a really, really strong hero. So it can work, but like I said, I mean, I'm not really the biggest fan of it.
Even to carry, it's the also like Sinjaz as well. The build he goes like he's carry Viper and he maxes corrosive by level 7. Like, he's like, don't need my last hitting, don't need the poison touch, don't need to control the lane, just straight up death ball at level 7, level 8 with mech, and it worked out fantastic. So LGD, do they need to change like their draft, their approach from game 2, or like what do they do?
I don't really know. Like, they even blocked the camps out on this for the side of the Enchantress. So like Newbee started at a little bit of a disadvantage, I feel like, but just able to just take control of the game so hard-handedly. Okay, well guys, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, it's gonna be game number 2 of a best of 3 grand finals in the Mars TV Dota 2 League. I'm Gods, he's Fog. You're watching LGD versus Newbee. Stay tuned.